All right, so we are live streaming on YouTube, and welcome everybody to ACIM Gather for Course in Miracles. We're here with some really special guests tonight, and I'm so excited to have you here. Right now, I'm going to play. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I'm going to turn that down. I think I did already. I'm going to play a little song to get us going, and then as soon as it is over, we will move on to the main event. Oh, wait. I must have stopped the share. Let's fix that back. It's always something, isn't it? Computer, share sound, share.
Jesus, King of angels, heaven's light, shine your face upon this house tonight. Let no evil come into my dreams. Light of heaven, keep me in your peace. Remind me how you made dark spirits flee and spoke your power to the raging sea, and spoke your mercy to a sinful man. Remind me, Jesus, for this is what I am. The universe is vast beyond the stars, but you are mindful when a sparrow falls, and mindful of the anxious thoughts that find me, surround me, and bind me. With all my heart, I love you, sovereign Lord. Tomorrow let me love you even more, and rise to speak the goodness of your name, until I close my eyes in sleep again. The universe is vast beyond the stars, but you are mindful when a sparrow falls, and mindful of the anxious thoughts that find me, surround me, and bind me. Jesus, King of angels, heaven's light, hold my hand and keep me through this night.
So beautiful. Thank you. Um, that's such a beautiful song. I just love Jesus. So, how beautiful it is. So, welcome everyone here for ACIM Gather. And on Tuesday evenings, we have a program called Finding Your Inner Guide. And so tonight we have a special guests, Rodrigo and Budi, who have found their inner guide. And I'd just love to hear you tell, many of us know you, but there are many of us who don't. And so this is a chance for us to get to know you. So please, I'm turning the mic over to you and thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It's a great pleasure to be here together with you, Lynn, and with all participants here. We heard of ACIM Gather some time ago, and when we browsed the list of the sessions, the programs offered, it's just awesome. We are so grateful that people like you and Dov, no, Dov is it's the founder, as I understand, of ACIM Gather, that this it's an awesome place where dialogues can foster relationships, and this is part of the way we find guidance. Also, this inner guidance sometimes is sometimes it comes from the voice of those who sit next to us in meetings like this. Since we are all one in truth and we share the same self, it happens more often than not that the guidance that comes from within is heard from someone apparently outside of us. I'm sure we each here have some experience with this, of listening to the inner guidance through the voice of someone in a Zoom call or in a meeting, or even chatting with someone around A Course in Miracles and other transmissions from Jesus. Currently, my wife Budi and we are a little bit more involved with A Course of Love. But a few years ago, we were deeply into A Course in Miracles. It's Course in Miracles is still an essential part of our lives, and we so much appreciate being here with you. We'll just say a little bit, the inner guidance is something that has been extremely important in our lives for a very long time. Actually, the lives that we live together now are the result of following guidance beyond what our mind can think. Guidance can come in many different ways. It can come, as I mentioned before, in dialogues, when you hear something that resonates with us, something that sort of it clicks, it resonates and feels true. One day, for example, we were just walking on the street, and Budi and I, we had a question, or we were thinking about a particular topic. And as we were going through the sidewalk, someone came out of a building answering a mobile phone. And as he took his phone and answered, hello, and started speaking, he immediately spoke something directly connected to what we were asking before. Like it is incredible, the synchronicity and how life can bring together in this dance of cooperation the answer to a question you have through something that you would call serendipity or synchronicity, coming from something so trivial as someone leaving a building with a phone in his hand and answering a phone call. We can hear the voice of God from uh, the lyrics of a music. Sometimes we enter a restaurant or a shop, and there we go. They are playing a song that is talking about something directly again related to a question, a doubt, or a topic of your interest. And there we go. Again, the guidance is there. sometimes we open a book to read, and again, it happens many times to us. We were discussing something, or sometimes we were in doubt about a decision we needed to make. And as we open the book, it could be A Course in Miracles, the big power of now, Conversations with God, A Course of Love, and many others. And then again, we started reading and we see a paragraph that is speaking directly about what we had been wondering about, what we were being asking for. In our case, many times we receive guidance through intuition. Intuition is just a felt knowing. It's just when you just know something because you do. You can't explain why you know it. A huge example in my personal life happened when I was about 30 years old, when I felt a very clear call to leave the country in which I was living, Brazil, and go to Mongolia. And that's wow, now you know why I met my wife Budi, who is from Mongolia. So why on earth I invented to leave Brazil and go to Asia? You know, like I had already previously lived many years in India, in Nepal, in Spain, but going to Mongolia, that was another world altogether. And I can't explain, no one told me to go there. And when I had this intuition, this felt knowing that I needed to go to Mongolia, I didn't know a single person in that country. I didn't have any contact, nothing. I went just by myself, and I was already a spiritual teacher in those days, and I participated in a large conference in Romania, in Bucharest, and then I just felt, well, I'm halfway, I'm in Romania, why not I go to Ulaanbaatar, no? Which is the capital of Mongolia. And I made this decision, and when I arrived there, again, not knowing anyone, a series of incredible synchronicities, meeting people in a restaurant or meeting people on the street, started bringing me the key contacts that prepared for my life. That I ended up living 7 years, for 7 years in Mongolia. I had incredible life there. I met hundreds of students. There I shared not only the wisdom of the Buddha, but also the wisdom of Christ. I had wonderful students like Budi, who eventually became my wife. That was a felt knowing. I just knew go to Mongolia, and it was a precious time. About my beloved Buddha here, again, it was thanks to a dream, a guidance received from not only one, but a series of dreams that made it clear for me that she was more than just a student. She was to be my wife, my life partner. So it happened some 18 years ago. I had a dream, for example, in which I saw uh, a young woman, whom I felt immediately in love with. And I couldn't see exactly her face, but I felt absolutely like in true love, no? An experience of total joining with her. But I didn't know who she was. Yet, I remember in the dream a detail. As she was moving around, I saw her tongue was yellow. Her tongue was totally yellow, and it struck me. And so when I woke up in the morning, I recalled this dream. Again, I was feeling that beautiful love in my heart, but this detail, I said, wow, her tongue is yellow. And I thought, is this a symbol? Is the yellow color symbolizing something here? No, what happened is that one day after I had this dream, Budi came to the class I was teaching in those days. And when I greeted her, and as we started speaking, I noticed that her tongue was yellow, was fully yellow. And I was so startled, and I thought, wow, what happened to you? I even asked her, can I see your tongue? And She showed me her tongue was totally yellow. What happened? Right before she came to my place, she had a sore throat and she was kind of chewing a lozenge, like this droplet, and that was tinted with yellow color, and that's why in that moment her tongue was yellow. And later, I had other dreams similar to this, clearly uh, telling me, informing me that she was someone that is more than just a student, and it completely changed the relationship I had with her, and naturally I started then approaching her more like someone where I could have a relationship with it. And another example of dreams guiding our life happened when we got an invitation to go to Thailand and to teach a group of students there. And I thought, well, let's go to Bangkok, which is the capital. And I made my mind that we were going to Bangkok. However, I had a dream showing me I was in Thailand in the dream, and someone took me to a place that was high in the mountains in the north of Thailand. And then this man came to me and told me, Rodrigo, just take a look down there. And as I looked, I saw a city completely flooded with water. And I woke up again from this dream without knowing exactly what was the message, what guidance I was receiving. And then again, a few days later, someone that was going to meet us in Thailand told me, well, once in the past I lived in a city in the north of Thailand, in the mountains. The city is called Chiang Mai. And then I was thinking, like, Chiang Mai, I never had heard this name before in my life. And I decided to Google it, Chiang Mai. And then I said, well, this is the second largest city, and there are many expats living there. And then I thought, wow, I just had a dream showing me that there is some issue, some flooding stuff down there. And down there could mean Bangkok, because Bangkok is almost at the sea level. Chiang Mai is high up in the north, in the mountains. So I took this as a guidance, and then I told this man, well, how about we go to Chiang Mai instead of Bangkok? And he said, wow, that's great. Let's go there instead. So without knowing anything about Chiang Mai, we decided to go there. We arrived there I never forget, it was August 2011. And if you check, in October that year, it was just 2, 3 months after we arrived in Thailand, there was the greatest flood in Bangkok history. The city was totally devastated. It was very sad to see it. And this also prompts the question, is it possible to know something that's going to happen in the future? Apparently, yes, because I did have this dream. I even told a few people around me, oh, I saw a city down there that was flooded. I didn't think clearly, I didn't know it was Bangkok, but that's what happened. If you see October 2011, Bangkok was flooded and stayed flooded for months. It was a very difficult time there. Anyway, I could go on with hundreds of experiences showing how important it is to listen. Listen to people in a call, listen to the conversations we had with friends, family, listen to dreams, listen to music, to movies, open books, and as we read, perhaps what we are reading is answering an important question or a doubt or giving us some guidance. We talk about the Holy Spirit in A Course in Miracles. And again, for a long time, I was praying to the Holy Spirit. The only difference is now the Holy Spirit feels like as if it is integrated with, with the mind, no, not my mind, mine, but the mind and the heart we share in unity. So it's becoming like a second nature. No? We no longer have to constantly refer to an apparently outside source for guidance, but life itself starts guiding us, and we start listening to this inner guide in many different ways. Yeah. Mhm.
So thank you. This is beautiful, Rodrigo, and I love so much your your process because it is so much like mine. I relate to that so clearly because yeah, I've been informed by dreams my whole life. A dream will tell me, and it's not, I think, so much seeing into the future. It's just knowing what's happening. It really is just kind of knowing the path. And I married a man who was a complete stranger. I had never met him in my life, and I had a dream. And in the dream, I met this man, and and we got married. This man had the same dream. He had a dream that when he came to this town where I lived, that the first woman he was going to meet was who he was going to marry. And so I was sitting outside of my mother's house, uh, and these guys came driving up. This guy gets out, walked over to me, and said, "Hello, will you marry me?"
Wow.
And I said, "Yes, what's your name?"
Holy.
And 2 weeks
Wow.
later, we were married, and we were married for 3 years. After that, that was it. That was, I mean, there were many adventures that we had together and traveled all over and did a lot of very interesting things, and I had a very interesting time with him. But yeah, that it was complete, total stranger I had never seen before in my life, and everybody thought I was insane, but when that happens, you can't turn away from it. The dream, the mind knows. So for me, your stories are, yeah, that, I mean, that's how I always go. And it's like everything always happens for me. It's like I don't even have to try. Things just come to me like this. This just came to me, and I had no idea. I am not a technical person. I don't know anything about how this works. I don't know anything about anything, but I have this thing that's just moving along by itself, and I'm just in the little boat on the river. So Rafi has his hand up, and so does Charles. Go ahead, Rafi.
My experience like that, it's amazing and maybe not amazing. I was working as a disc jockey and an MC at a disco in Manhattan back in the 60s. And a woman came in one night, black woman, and she borrowed some money for car fare to go home. And then the next night she came back to pay it back to me. And we started talking and flirting and we started dating. And then after a couple of dates, she said, I'm a single mother. I have a son. He's 4 years old. And would you like to meet him? I said, yeah, why not? We'll walk through Central Park. It'd be very nice. Uh, so the next day, I meet them in Central Park and I see this kid. And the night before, I had had a dream and he was the kid in the dream. And it was just a dream. This little kid standing on the sidewalk, who looked up at me with this look on his face that I can't translate, but it had some meaning to it. The next day I meet him and he's the kid in the dream. Well, we wound up living together. Then she admitted to herself that she was gay and she moved out. And I said, what are you going to do with, Andre, the boy? And she said, I don't know, put him in a foster home. And I said, no, no, leave him with me. I'll raise him. And I became a single parent. None of that was planned, but it turned out to be one of the most fascinating experiences of my life. And it all happened because I saw this kid in a dream.
Wow, great, Rafi. Wow, what a story. You see, there is guidance beyond what our separated mind can think, what we can plan. is very limited by our past experiences, by prejudices, by judgment. We can't compare our driving ability to the GPS. That's the idea. Those who drive especially in big cities, we know only too well that if you're trying to plan the route by yourself, oh my God, first of all, you spend a lot of time looking at maps and trying to figure out how to get from A to B. Whereas nowadays, the experience of the global positioning system mirrors the guidance from Unity that we receive, because you just say what you need. I need to be there. And then you trust. You just sit and relax behind the driving wheel and just follow the flow. Turn left, turn right, do this, do that. And there you go. You will be there. So the greatest experiences in our lives, as Rafi is saying, come from things that we didn't plan. We received. That was awesome story, Rafi. Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure Muhammad didn't plan to go into a cave for 40 days and come out a realized master. Okay, I'm sure Buddha, when he sat under that tree, the Bodhi tree, and then and then eventually that's all divine guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, we're led by the nose. Do this because this is what's right for you. This is your. It's so obvious, and it happens all the time. And we are divinely guided. Every moment has been explicitly orchestrated for our benefit. All we got to do is get in line with it. I didn't mean to go on. Sorry.
Thank you, Rafi. You did not go on. And believe me, Rafi has some stories. You talk about following guidance and having miraculous things happening. But we don't have all night. So, but if we have time later, maybe. Charles, please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Budi and Rodriguez. Thank you for your shares and your stories. I come from a different walk in my life, and I've known Budi and Rodriguez for a while, but I've always been guided through my belief in the external, following my eyes, following what I see as being true. And I've had lots of inner wonderful dialogues, but it came to my faith wasn't strong until I started picking up some books and realizing how important it is to have an inner dialogue versus just a listening mind. That questioning mind to me really brought me more deeper into the listening. And I didn't really question anything I saw. And when I started questioning things I saw, which is later on in life, here I am in my later years of life, I realized my intellect really isn't any kind of a guide that I can use anymore. It's got me into a lot of difficulties and pitfalls in various relationships that at first they said, "Oh, wow, look what you know. Look what you insights that you have. Look at the wonderful understanding you share with everyone." But that was all intellectual. It wasn't really diving deep into questions that uh, remained unanswered in me, because one can connect intellectually with another, but to connect with the heart, it takes true, honest, sincere questions that one must ask oneself and feel the sense of inner connection to feel the hearts of another. I could I could connect with understanding intellectually with others, and that got me by with the various different groups. And I was a teacher as well. But I taught from my intellect, and it really took me about three girls later in my life, three children, one I'm about to meet next month or the end of this month that I've never met in my whole life. I'm able to talk to her because of work I've done in my heart. And God has opened a way for us to connect. I feel that I'm coming more closer to living from my heart than living in my head. So, and Buddha and Rodriguez, I recognize that in you, that you are all heartfelt and heart-led, and your mind allows the heart to lead, and the heart and the mind follows the heart. And thank you for your example you've shown. And in the past couple of years, I've come more from my heart than I have in my entire life. I've had a lot of good visions and all these wonderful things inside, but I live basically from my intellectual understanding of the world and not from the divine presence of that which led us into being and is the source of all that I see. So I am so grateful for your guidance and love and sharings. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charles. And yeah, I love to hear this. This even though our group began really about A Course in Miracles, that's basically what we taught here for years. And also NTI, which is the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament that was received through Regina Dawn Akers. So we taught that here, and we were very connected to Regina and Awakening Together for many years as well. And now though we're moving more into as we've noted, we have now two groups who are doing A Course of Love. One is on Thursday evenings, and then one is on Tuesday morning. We just decided this morning, oh, we're going to turn this hour into a course of Love group for people who can't come in the evening. So we're going to go through the Course of Love also in the morning. But it's the being open and not having an imagination that God only speaks one language. And I see that so beautifully with Rodrigo and Budi, because I don't suspect that you spoke Mongolian when you went to
No,
Mongolia, and I don't know if Budi spoke
no.
English
Yeah.
or Spanish. But you're open to have the relationship even if the language doesn't match. It's the heart that really is the thing. And so I love that. And if you have anything else, Rodrigo or Budi, if you have anything that you'd like to say. Let's see, what time on Tuesday morning? Let me look real quick. I think it is it the 9:30 Eastern on Tuesday? I just put it on today, so of course my mind is not remembering this, but let's see, Tuesday, 10:30 Eastern. So that would be 7:30 your time, Rico. 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 or 11:30 Eastern. Or 10:30 Eastern, I'm sorry. So Sharon and I decided today, let's just do A Course of Love. And I said, that's a good idea. But it's the heart. See, that's the thing. It is the connection with the heart that is why these things work, why this works. And that's what I appreciate so much, is that people are willing to change and see things differently. So Budi, Rodrigo, do you have anything else? Oh, Annie. Christina has her hand up. Go ahead, Christina.
Thank you first and foremost for everything you shared thus far. I would be totally interested if any one of you would know when I tell you that I have never, ever, ever, ever recognized any dreams of myself. I don't even know if I'm dreaming. There you go.
You're good. I don't know why that did that, but go ahead.
Did anyone hear my question? I
Yes, I heard the beginning of
Yes.
it, but
never dreamed. I have never dreamed. I mean, I'm aware that every single being dreams every night, but I wake up and have zero idea. I have no recollection of any dreams ever. My synchronicity of things, what happened to me like yesterday, I would like to share yesterday in the A Course of Love conference call. Before we had the breakout, there was a thought in my mind, please, please, please let any traits be in my room. And as I opened my eyes, here she was. Because I wanted to see this woman again. Hi, Annie. So, and before her and I could make an appointment of some kind, when the meeting was over, I checked my emails, and lo and behold, there was Shelley, who lives close to us as well. And she invited us. She would like to meet us both, like me and Annie, or Annie and me. And that is how it happens to me. I formulate a thought, and before I can turn around, it's happening. Cause and effect are that close together, there's no space in between anymore. And it was like, oh my God, what's happening? So this is what I wanted to share with you. This is how it happens to me. But I would be interested indeed to find out if anyone would know why I never recollect any dreams. Ever, 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 ever. If anyone would
Maybe
know anything.
I can say something about this, Christina, because
Thank
I
you.
also didn't recall any dreams until I was 18 or 19 years old. Then I attended a course or a class on Yoga Nidra. It's kind of a Tibetan Buddhist teaching on how to recall dreams and how to interpret, how to have lucid dreams also. And what I learned in that time is that we can help ourselves to remember dreams by first, before you go to sleep, when you lie on the bed, you just, as you are saying about your thought of meeting Annie Twaiters in the breakout room yesterday, you just tell yourself, I'm going to wake up next morning and I will recall my dreams. There are messages in them I need to remember. So you just affirm, you just set the intention before you go to sleep that you will remember your dreams in the morning. Second, they told me in that time to place a notebook with a pen or pencil, yeah, on your bedside table, so that the first thing you do when you wake up, as soon as you realize you woke up in the morning, or can happen in the middle of the night, of course, but whenever you realize you are back to physical body, you avoid making any movements. You will stay as quiet as possible, still with the eyes closed. And you gently allow your mind to pull the thread of memories. Maybe you recall a color or a sound or a person or a place, and you allow that starter to be there in your mind. And maybe from that, you recall something else, somewhere else, someone, and then you start like pulling a thread of memories, and then the dream comes. And then you after this initial recollection, you sit, take your notepad or notebook, and write down whatever you recalled. Even if it is as simple as that I remember seeing my sister, my brother, or I remember being in that place. Write this down, because incredibly many times it happens that as you get something in your hand and start really writing your recollection, more comes. Sometimes I write, I was in this place, and then oops, I also remember I saw this person, and you add it to your writings. And be patient with yourself, because in the beginning also I could hardly recall anything, but whatever I did, I would write it down. Later, with some practice, the memory started coming more and more and more, until there was a point I was writing full dreams, and I was sitting for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes writing on the
Amazing.
dream notebook. So I am an example of someone who didn't remember any dreams whatsoever, but just by the simple practices started recalling them. So maybe this could help. The same happened with Buddhists. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Yeah.
I will thank you very much for that advice. I will most certainly try that. But I would like to tell you two things. When I do wake up during the night, that is usually because I have to run to the toilet. And also, otherwise I don't wake up. I just have a solid sleep. But when I have to, I quickly have to go to the toilet and back to bed. And also, when I go to sleep, I usually listen to one of the recordings. And this is how I disappear in the recording of the memory of what I just heard previously.
Very
So yeah,
interesting.
I try. Thank you.
It just made me think, something that I've done, and it tells, A Course in Miracles tells you that if you ask, the Holy Spirit will work with you, or you could call it Holy Spirit or whatever. The Christ within will work with you while you're sleeping. So even while you're sleeping, you can be
He does, Lynn. I can
you
confirm
so
that,
so
yeah.
who cares what you remember? If you get that, wake up with that peace or knowing, then what else do you need? That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I appreciate that, Christina. But
Thank you so much. Yeah, I hopefully can share that, because what I love the most, when I put my body down and close my eyes, I have that wide, big ball coming up, and literally I see Jesus embracing me, comforting me, speaking to me. And in the being of my holiness, I just embrace that instance, and I want it to go on forever, 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 forever. And then I'm some sort of drifting off in a world where I don't know where I go. Like I said, I don't remember any dreams. But yeah, it is just so, 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 so wonderful and appreciative that I can't even imagine changing anything, because I appreciate every time I put my body down. What I'll experience is just second to none for me.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So why try something to, this is the thing, we get an idea in our mind. Oh, if only this could happen to me. If only I could hear a voice. If only I could, talk to Jesus. And we start thinking that that's a goal, but it's not. There's no goal to having a dream. Take what you're given, because, you're being handed, wonderful things. And, I think it's as valid and wonderful as any other thing. I mean, Jesus talking to you in your dream, awake or asleep, it's still the same thing. And we're all still dreaming. We're dreaming now. This is
Yeah.
this is the thing, we're dreaming now. So thank you, Chris. I so appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you started coming to our groups. I really do appreciate your input. So thank you, Christina.
Yeah. I just, I have talked to that to my daughter, to friends, to everyone, because everyone seems to remember their dreams. And since that came up in this discussion, I felt I put it out here and ask if anyone would know why I, 72 years now, have never ever remembered any dreams ever. I just simply go to bed and I simply wake up, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? That means you got some rest, maybe. So that's good. 72, me too. I'm 72 also. So when is your birthday?
21st of July.
July. Oh, it's just recent. Happy birthday. Very good. Mine is in
Yes,
February,
yes.
so I'm older than you. So no big deal. But thank you, Christina. Rafi, please go ahead. And then Dove has his hand up, and then Charles has his hand up again. So, yeah, Rafi, please go ahead.
Lynn, you said it when you said we're in the dream right now. That was it. So whether you're asleep dream or whether you're awake dream, it's still a dream. And
Yeah.
the things that manifest in this dream that had a thought or something before is the same process as it happens in a night dream. There's no difference. I mean, otherwise, where did I have this fantastic marriage that was off the charts? How did I have this incredibly successful career? Because I had some idea about it or dream about it, but a waking dream about it, and it just manifested it. And then when I got into releasing, I could accelerate the manifesting process because now here's a tool that I can use to get my mind even quieter, or I get my mind quieter faster, so that all of this stuff can manifest without all of these negative thoughts and feelings in the way. Um, Hello, and again, I said it a million times. I'm not here to make the dream better. I'm here to wake up, but the dream gets better on its own. The more I let go and let God let go and just trust, the dream gets better on its own. I don't have to do anything. There's no doing. It's just allowing. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Beautiful sharing. And that's it. You know, this is a beautiful dream. I'm having the greatest dream ever. So yours can't compete with mine. I'm sorry. Mine's the best. Dove, please go ahead. You're muted, Dove.
Hi, is it Christina? We have a lot in common. I don't remember dreams either. At first, I was going to share that with you. And then the other thing I have in common is I go to the bathroom at least 2 or 3 times a night, too. But what I really want to say to you, from the Course in Miracles, I can assure you that your daytime dreams are identical to your nighttime dreams. You don't have to remember your nighttime dreams. Whatever's going on in your daytime life living dreams is really the same thing for the sake of looking at what it is that your lessons are. And that's what dreams are. Dreams are something to see what lessons are there for you. If you're triggered, you're upset, you're feeling depressed, something like that. So whatever's going on in your daytime dream is the same as your nighttime dream. That's my sharing. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. What I would like to literally say to all of you is my entire existence feels like it is totally and utterly guided, because I don't do nothing of myself anymore. Zero, zilch, nothing. And as much joy as I feel in that being on the move, I feel really like, wow, how do I deserve that? This is amazing. I do no step by myself. Every step I make, every breath I take, I'm guided to do what I'm doing. Sometimes when I meet my daughter, I have an idea what we are wanting to do and but that idea is always thrown out of the window, because Holy Spirit just takes over. And by the day finishes, I'm thinking, wow, I couldn't have planned it any more perfect than what I've experienced. Yeah.
Thank you, Christina. Yes, I mean, what could you ask for more than that? What could you ask for more than that?
Nothing. I just sometimes feel, And since you're the same age now, I just put it out here sometimes. Because there's nothing in my mind 24/7. And I'm thinking, gee, that might be age-related. But because of my experiences, I know better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not subject to that. I can guarantee you that. That's what's happening to you is like we are just being given everything so beautifully. And I
Yeah.
love that so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I just always embrace the holiness of my being with every breath I take. I have no other thing to do. Whatever happens, like even if I don't like it, I just straight away embrace everything.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, because it's always for the best. Everything is always for the best. Everything is here for
Yeah.
our for us. That's so beautiful. Let's see, Charles and Rico. Please, Charles, go ahead.
Thank you. I love that question. And I asked that question deep within my deep within my own soul. And the answer that came from me was mind without a body can only express presence. It knows nothing else but presence. And when love's awareness is the presence, it feels that presence and emanates that presence. But as soon as we get into form, mind needs to engage in relationship. And if you're so much into presence and love and joy, then the mind is very quiet and still. And people pick up on that and receive that from you. And it's such a joy to experience presence with. But a lot of people can't deal with the mind and need to have abstract ways of dealing with things. So the Holy Spirit, on the depths of their soul, brings ways of the mind to find release from the things that they cannot deal with during the day. And so abstract dreams are very important for a lot of people who are dealing with situations that really need that extra little help when they fall asleep. Because in the depths of our sleep, in the silence of our own knowing, we live in the presence of God's love. And there is no images, there is no thoughts, there is no form, there is just the presence of being, of which we exist as in our awareness of. But as we live in a world full of form and relationships, sometimes the Holy Spirit uses our dreams to help us to find ways of working and dealing with situations that could otherwise cause us a lot of hallucinations that we wouldn't otherwise have. Because some people who don't sleep at all sometimes have hallucinations that they can't deal with, and they end up getting medication and therapy for. So it's not the dreaming, but the dreaming itself, I feel, is God's gift to those people who are dealing with situations to help them find a way of release. And if you don't dream it, it's just because you're really doing your process and you're really feeling the presence and you know that's everything. Because I say the answer came to me, the mind without the body only expresses presence, and presence is everything. And that's why I do my forgiveness practices so that I can live in God's presence more and more and more with my brothers and sisters who are one with me. That undying, unifying presence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Charles. And I appreciate that very much. Appreciate that very much because yeah, that's what we're here for. So Rico, please go ahead.
Good evening, good afternoon, family and friends. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. I send you love and light from my heart to yours. Good to be here. Thank you, Budi and Rodrigo. And Charles, thank you for that. I wanted to tell Miss Christina, my sister from another mister, you're my hero. Let me tell you why. If I go to bed at night and Jesus is cuddling me and comforting me, the dream is the last thing I want to remember when I wake up. I'm going to stay with Jesus. Thank you.
I love you, Rico. You are so adorable. Thank you, thank you.
Rico, that is exactly what is going on with me, because when I have that experience at night, I'm actually going that far as to say, please let me stay here and never come out of it, ever. But as it is, even when I'm sitting in silence during the day, I'm getting hungry, I have to go to the toilet, blah, 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 blah. So, this experience has to be experienced in order to know what this is all about. But thank you for recognizing that that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely. But remember this, Jesus knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, but Rico,
Just be.
I do love. The thing is, I don't even 100% know how to express certain things because my experiences go way beyond my, like sometimes when I'm walking, shopping, or whatever, people I have never seen or I don't remember, let's say it like that, they just bow down on me. And when that happened to me in the beginning, I said, do I know you? Do we know each other? I might have forgotten him, I thought, or her, or I might. No, this is just happening quite frequently to me. And it is a little bit, oh my God. In my mind, it's always, oh my God, what's going on?
Only the ego wants to know, Christina, do you know him? The oneness, the one conscious mind. Sometimes it's beyond words.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. Rafi, and then we're at the top of the hour. Please go ahead, Rafi, and then we'll
Yeah, just
close
real
out.
quickly, when I have dreams at night, and whether they're full of anguish or full of joy or something, and I wake up, and then when I say, "Well, I had a dream. What was that about?" It was only a dream. What difference does it matter? What it was? It's still a dream. It never really happened. It's just a bunch of images. And then I'd look around and say, "Well, what about this dream?" Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just a bunch of images. And it's not a, if there's a lesson in it for me to be learned, I'll learn it. And if it's not, it's just a dream. And it makes everything so much simpler. I don't get caught up in trying to engage my mind into trying to investigate it or try to rationalize it or justify it or explain it or give it. That's all pointless mind activity. The whole point of it is to quiet the mind. So why would I get into that? Boy, the lessons here today. Woo!
Thank you, Robbie. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, this has been so wonderful. I'd just like to ask Rodrigo and Budi, first, thank you so much for coming. I don't know how we turned into a whole big discussion about dreams, but that's the way it goes sometimes, because you opened us up to that experience. And so I'm so very grateful. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to us before we close out?
Thank you, Lynn, or thank you everyone who shared it from the heart. And about the dream, one of the guidance we received is once in the Thailand, Rodrigo saw in the dream there is a one ball of seeds, and then someone give it handle to Rodrigo, and then we change it that throw that seed, and then we put the new seeds. And then suddenly life guiding us, new body of teaching, bringing several different wisdom to our awareness. And we receive it many different ways of God's message in our life. And one of such is, of course, Course in Miracle. And the Course in Miracle deeply touched us because the Helen Schuckman had a dream. And the dream showed she entered into the cave and she saw there is a two book in the cave. And one is, there is all the wisdom of the past and the future of the world. And then another book is God is, and that's it. And then she picked that book, and therefore this is the symbol of our inner guidance, and also through the dream, and in this case of Helen Schuckman, received through Jesus, and then announced through the dream, and all the receiving is coming. And the similar thing happened with the Marie Perron and Course of Law, and she, the friend of the Marie Perron, had a dream, and there is another body of teaching is come from the one heart, one mind, and our shared self. There is a message to us. And then she received the book of Course of Love, and that is the humanity has such a gift and many different time in the world, and there is a gift revealed, and the knowledge come through many different ways, as Rodrigo shared it, sometimes in the lyrics, sometimes in the dialogue, and sometimes it is in our dream, and it's all the time. And our life is our guidance, and our life is bringing everything we need to receive from moment by moment. And thank you I'm really enjoyed the time being with you.
Thank you guys so very much. I so appreciate you, and you're welcome back anytime. You can always come and join us. I know you guys are very busy, but we welcome everyone, and everyone who joined us this evening to be here with Budi and Rodrigo. Please come back. And our schedule is on our website, and this is also published on YouTube. Everyone is welcome, and I'd love to have everyone come and share their inner guide with us. So thank you so much, Budi, Rodrigo,
Thank you, Lynn.
and all of my gather pals. It's been a great, great, great evening.
Yeah.
And
Been
Good morning to
wonderful.
Annie.
thank you. Good to see you, Sunny.
For your love and service,
Yeah, it's been
Lou.
great to hear you all. It's been wonderful.
Well, y'all welcome anytime. Bye-bye, guys.
Y'all come back real soon now.
Absolutely. We'll
You
see you
hear?
all on Thursday. And we'll see some of you
Thank
tomorrow
you.
morning with Bob. So don't forget that. Thank you, you beautiful thing.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
things.
Bye.
Christina, Rodrigo, and Budi.